tranquil atmosphere of the Comarca Lagunera was shattered this week as a violent meteorological phenomenon, described by experts as a supercell transition, unleashed a barrage of golf ball-sized hail and torrential rain upon the municipality of Lerdo. The storm, which peaked during the late afternoon and evening of April 5th and 6th, 2026, has left a trail of destruction, prompting a massive mobilization of emergency services and the declaration of a state of emergency for the region. What began as a typical spring afternoon, characterized by the intense heat common to the Chihuahuan desert, rapidly transformed into a darkened greenish sky, a classic precursor to severe tornadic or hail activity. According to the National Water Commission, CONAGUA, the disaster was triggered by a perfect storm of atmospheric conditions, the collision of cold front number 43 with a surge of tropical moisture from the Pacific, exacerbated by record-high ground temperatures that created extreme thermal instability. By 5:30 p.m., the first reports of ice stones began to surface on social media from the outskirts of Lerdo. Within 20 minutes, the entire municipal seat was under a relentless bombardment. Residents described the sound as deafening, resembling a continuous rhythmic explosion against roofs and pavements. The impact on the local infrastructure has been described by municipal civil protection as unprecedented in the last 2 decades. The weight and velocity of the hail proved fatal for many structures. In the more vulnerable neighborhoods such as San Isidro and Villa Leon Guzman, dozens of homes featuring corrugated metal or fiberglass roofing were completely punctured. Rainwater subsequently flooded these interiors, destroying furniture and electrical appliances. At least 45 individuals were forcibly evacuated from their homes as structures faced imminent collapse. Local gymnasiums and community centers have been converted into temporary refuges, providing blankets, food, and medical psychological support for those who lost everything in a matter of minutes. For many residents, their vehicles represented their primary livelihood. The streets of Lerdo today resemble an automotive graveyard. Thousands of cars parked outdoors suffered shattered windshields and golf ball denting across hoods and roofs. Insurance adjusters estimate that the volume of claims in the Durango-Coahuila border region will likely break records for a single weather event. The storm brought down high-voltage power lines and dozens of aged trees, leaving nearly 30% of Lerdo without electricity for over 12 hours. Massive accumulations of ice, reaching depths of 30 centimeters in some street corners, clogged drainage systems, leading to flash flooding that trapped several motorists in their vehicles. Beyond the urban center, the agricultural sector, the backbone of the local economy, has been dealt a staggering blow. Initial assessments from the Secretariat of Agriculture and Rural Development, SADR, suggest that hundreds of hectares of seasonal crops, including forage for the region's dairy industry, have been flattened. The physical force of the hail stripped leaves from trees and crushed young sprouts, leading to fears of a local spike in food prices and a difficult recovery period for small-scale farmers. The governor of Durango, in coordination with the municipal president of Lerdo, has activated the DN3E plan, a disaster relief protocol involving the Mexican army. Our priority is the safety of our citizens and the restoration of basic services, the governor stated during a press briefing at the Lerdo Plaza de Armas. We are working with federal authorities to ensure that natural disaster status is officially recognized, allowing us to unlock emergency funds for those whose homes are currently uninhabitable. Local brigades are currently working 24/7 to clear the ice slush from main arteries like Boulevard Miguel Alemán to prevent further accidents as temperatures begin to rise, which ironically poses a new threat: rapid melting and secondary flooding. Climate scientists at the University of Durango warn that while hailstorms are not unknown in the high plains of northern Mexico, the intensity and frequency of these events are changing. The combination of heat islands in urban areas and shifting moisture patterns due to global climatic shifts means that cities like Lerdo must invest more heavily in resilient infrastructure and early warning systems. As of today, the sky over Lerdo has cleared, but the scars remain visible on every street. The community, known for its resilience, has already begun the arduous task of shoveling ice and patching roofs, proving once again that while nature can be destructive, the spirit of La Laguna remains unbroken. Meanwhile, as the ice from the historic April 2026 hailstorm finally melts into the parched earth of the Comarca Lagunera, a grim reality is surfacing for the region's agricultural heartland. While the city of Lerdo struggles with shattered glass and dented roofs, the rural outskirts are facing an economic catastrophe that could resonate for years. The Green Garden of Durango, as Lerdo is often called due to its lush agricultural zones, has been turned into a wasteland of shredded leaves and broken stalks. Initial surveys by the Secretariat of Agriculture and Rural Development, SADER, indicate that over 2,500 hectares of crops have been severely impacted. The primary victims are the forage crops, alfalfa and sorghum, which sustain the region's massive dairy industry. Alfalfa, which was nearing its first harvest of the season, was flattened by the weight of the hail. Farmers report a 100% loss in specific sectors, as the mechanical harvesters cannot pick up the crushed plants. The famous fig and walnut trees of the Nazas River Basin have suffered bark stripping and bud destruction, potentially ruining not just this year's harvest, but reducing the yield for 2027 as well. The Comarca Lagunera is one of Mexico's most important milk-producing regions. With local forage destroyed, dairy farmers are now forced to import feed from neighboring states like Chihuahua or Coahuila at inflated prices. If we can't feed the cattle, milk production drops. If milk production drops, prices in the supermarkets of Durango and Torreon will skyrocket within weeks, warned a representative from the local Cattlemen's Association. Unlike large industrial farms, small-scale communal farmers, ejidatarios, rarely have crop insurance. For many families in Lerdo, the entire year's income was invested in the seeds and fertilizers, now buried under layers of frozen mud. Local authorities are urgently requesting federal subsidies to prevent a mass exodus of rural workers to the cities. With meteorologists warning that atypical weather events are becoming the new normal for northern Mexico, Civil Protection has issued a comprehensive safety guide for the citizens of Durango. If your home uses sheet metal, lamina, or fiberglass, ensure they are bolted down with wide washers to prevent tear-through during high winds. The number one cause of indoor flooding in Lerdo during this storm was clogged roof gutters and street drains. Keep them free of trash and debris. Review your vehicle and home insurance policies. Ensure they specifically cover meteorological phenomenon or act of God damage. Hail the size of golf balls can cause concussions or even death. Do not run outside to save your car or cover plants once the hail has started. Move to the center of the house. Large hailstones can easily shatter windows, sending dangerous shards into living areas. Pull over safely under a sturdy bridge or overpass if possible. If no shelter is available, turn your back to the windows and cover your head with your arms or a blanket. Do not exit the vehicle. Check for cracks in the ceiling. Accumulated hail is extremely heavy and can cause delayed collapses as it turns into water. Document everything. Take high-quality photos of all damage before beginning repairs. This is vital for government aid applications or insurance claims. In some areas of Lerdo, the flash flooding has contaminated local wells. Until authorities give the green light, boil all tap water for consumption.
Loco. Que la gente de la iglesia no puede salir, vato. Saluda, loco. ¿Está todavía?